Mr. Dano.
Hi. Wait, let's introduce ourselves.
I'm Hannah. Gross.
I'm Hannah Cessna.
Sonia Smith.
Maddie Chetkovich, and this is our project.
It's right there.
Yep.
That's it.
So with lots of trial and error, we started out with paper clips as our needle, and we usually unbent it. But then we found that wasn't very useful, and that we should probably resort to sewing needles.
Yeah.
Because it was sharper, and it got and it was a thinner point too, so it was able to play the music.
Yeah, and then we were having problems with sound for a while, and we started we went to go get our record, United States of America by Stan Freberg, and when we were there, one of the workers told us that one of the keys to a record player is that it's about the acoustics. And he told us a story about how he used a styrofoam cup when he was younger and attached it to a needle on a record player to make the sound louder. So we took that, so we made, we have both of ours. Wait, no, that one, yeah. So we started with a small cone, and it wasn't very loud, so then we made a bigger cone out of a paper from our pad of papers, and then we attached the needle to the end of it.
Using tape.
Yeah.
Tape.
And the way we recognize pressure-wise and everything to put on it was we have a record player where we played it to start off, and we would hold, because the record doesn't spin unless you have the needle somewhat out, so we would hold up the needle from the record player and use our makeshift, and that helped us because certain angles and pressures amplified the sound better, because when we first started doing it, we'd just scratch and create static. So we had to get a certain kind of balance to that to make the noise, and balance was a pretty big part of our challenge in our project, just to get it to work. We tried using apples, tennis ball,
Couldn't cut it.
We cut the pad.
Just didn't work.
Didn't work. We tried using a pen to balance it, and the problem was we could spin it, but the record would wobble, and that would make the needle kind of go up and down, so we couldn't get the sound right. So Hannah, how do we do that?
Well, we just put the bottom of it, we just put it on this spool of thread because this fit into it. And it was
That's our wall anchor that we found in our toolkit, and then we had the spool of thread.
Yeah.
Which was found in our sewing kit.
Yeah.
So that helped it be a lot more stable, so it would turn better. Yeah.
And then we use manual labor.
Manual labor, a lot of manual labor.
A hand down here to keep it stable. That was the best way.
A hand to
turn. Hand to turn, and then we went
a hand is the
that.
needle arm, so.
Yeah, because the thing is, if we spun it like that, the record would go out of place.
And then the needle couldn't.
And we found that it was easier to do it because the base is kind of centered kind of small with this spindle or spool or whatever, so we had to do it kind of centered, and it would play more audibly the closer and then it got to the record, because out here it was easier to make it off balance. But yeah, it took us about 3 hours. A lot of trial and error, but we are proud of our American music.
Well, okay, that's the thing.
Podcast.
It's not really music. It's a podcast that we got, so
some slightly racist.
It's a bit questionable. I think it was 1950s history.
it is a podcast about the United States history and colonization. And there's some interesting content in there.
Yep.
He uses weird voices to explain different situations, so that's why our sound sounds weird sometimes, because it's actually him in a really high voice.
Yeah.
And then also, sometimes music's thrown into it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's our project.
Yeah.
Ta-da!
It sucked.
White cloud. Time to unload this crummy. And this here is Chief Red Cloud. What can we do for you, sir? Very nice.